back to another amazing live for the ultimate raw vegan bundle. 32 amazing raw vegan resources and so much more, worth over $1,390 for just $50. Available in my link in bio, as well as Jennifer's at the Jennifer Diamond 1. So you can get both of our links in bio. I see Jennifer has joined me now. We're going to be going into a really fun topic of healing inflammation and food is medicine. So it's going to be really fun. I see Jennifer already requested me. We're going to get a little bit of that blood sugar up. Hooray! Jennifer, how you doing?
Hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Hello, beautiful people. This is so exciting.
Welcome to Instagram Live. Is this your first Instagram Live?
It's not my first,
No.
but I've only done maybe a couple.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm still new at the Instagram Live thing here. So thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah, I've been on Jennifer's channel on YouTube a bunch. You do a lot of awesome lives on YouTube and Facebook and all over the place. So it's great to have you here on my channel, and it's also really dang great to have you a part of the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle with your recipe in the Cultural Favorites group book.
Yay, thank you. And I so appreciate this opportunity. And I really enjoyed having our time together before. And so I'm so looking forward to connecting with you and sharing and letting people know, how amazing not only the bundle is, the raw bundle, because you get so many wonderful things in it for this set price for a limited time, but raw food in itself and how great raw food is. And I'm learning too. Look at you.
It's so darn good. It is such a blessing, right? It's a juicy, sweet, vibrant blessing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have some stuff sitting in front of me, but I don't know if you can see it. Like, this is a yellow watermelon.
Oh, nice.
And I'm excited to get it. I don't know if you could see, but the texture on it is like this weird circles. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can't. Oh,
But
no, I
it's just
see.
like,
Yeah, whoa. It's like labyrinths.
it's like labyrinths. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
Wow, that's really neat. Spirals
I love,
everywhere, right? Nature always brings us spirals.
yes, I love that when I cut open like into fresh fruits and fresh foods, that there's always beautiful
Yeah.
patterns.
Yeah,
So
no, I totally 100% agree. It's whether we're looking at patterns in like streams and like blood vessels, you see those in the fruits, or like those beautiful spirals. And fruit is beautiful. I mean, it's designed to be beautiful and eye-catching, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So I like you said, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I do have my own channel on YouTube, and I really do like to share how food, I mean, real, true, whole food has like saved my life. It literally gave me my life back. I was bedridden and I had all kinds of chronic problems, and never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought it's the food.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
So,
It's so crazy.
yeah,
The doctors
eating the
don't
right,
say, "Oh, the food doesn't make any difference." Isn't it? I got this issue. Yeah, food has nothing to do with that.
yeah. Yeah, because those people might be skilled in what they do,
Hmm.
but maybe not in nutrition. And so, learning about the right foods, the whole foods, and how incredible and powerful they are in
Hmm.
their ability to heal and gave me my life back so I can jump around and have energy and feel great and share.
That's
So.
the best. That's the best. It's within this realm of health and healthy eating. I think you get more people coming into it and being so excited to share it, because it does. It just changes your life. It makes such a huge difference. And once you felt that for yourself, you want others to have it, right? It's like feeling this good isn't meant to be done alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And if you hear some dogs barking, they're just my furry friends here in the background saying hello.
It's all good. I
So,
hope they do say hello. I got my snooter over here. She'll probably say hello at some point too. She's been
oh,
nibbling at me. I got her new
she's
food and
so
she's not
cute.
really loving it, so she's trying to eat me now.
Yeah, but wherever you want to start, I'm happy to share my experience or anything that you think would be of value here.
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, where I'd like to start first is with your contribution to the group book, because I can't pronounce the recipe name and I'd never heard that recipe before. So I would love to hear a little bit about it from you, because that is just so everyone knows. And again, you can grab the bundle in either of our links in bio. If you're not following Jennifer yet, you should follow her here. Definitely worthwhile. And the book is called Cultural, oh, it's actually World Favorites. It's cultural favorites from around the world, whole bunch of different recipes from people's heritage or their favorite cultural dish, and it's exclusive to this bundle, so you can't get it anywhere else. And I believe there's over 30 recipes in there. I got my raw vegan poutine in there. There's a bunch of different really fun ones, but can you share a little bit about yours?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was really excited when you said, that there's going to be this beautiful collaboration of all kinds of different heritage dishes
Mm-hmm.
that are raw. And so this one is spelled Tzimmes,
Mm-hmm. I
and
had a hard time.
it's pronounced Seamus.
Oh wow. See, I would have never guessed that. I was definitely thinking of something different.
Seamus. And yeah, and and don't worry, I've had to practice it myself. Um, but it doesn't. It's like the T is silent, so it's Seamus.
Yeah.
And it's a Jewish root dish, a classic Jewish dish, and I think it dates back to like the Ashkenazi community of Eastern Europe.
Hmm.
And it's there's a lot of Jewish dishes that are, well, they're not all raw and they're definitely not, clean food. And so I thought, why not try to create something that is raw and really healthy for us that people can use when they're going or wanting to celebrate Jewish traditions. And this one is like a really simple, kind of like a sweet sort of stew, even though it's a raw.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's usually made with root vegetables and
Hmm.
meats, and it's cooked,
Yeah.
and it's simmered with like dried fruits and prunes and apricots and that kind of thing. And so I made the dish using vegetables, right?
Hmm.
But they're raw, and so I had carrots, sweet potato, and butternut squash in it and some other seasonings. It's very, very simple. It's beautiful and vibrant in color. And a lot of people can serve it during like Rosh Hashanah, which is like the Jewish New
Hmm.
Year celebration. And it's a symbol of a sweet year to come. That's what their holiday is, to celebrate. Um, but you don't have to wait till then. You can try it. You don't have to be celebrating that. I mean, and when you're craving something that's a comforting, filling, sweet dish, this
Hmm.
one might be a good one to try.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, the photo in there is amazing, and the whole book itself is amazing. I was really happy that you decided to become a part of it and join us on the bundle. So, thank you again so much.
Yes, absolutely. And I was excited to get in there. I didn't really, have a lot of time. I kind of came in at the
Yeah.
end, which is why I was only able to contribute a small amount. But it's still an amazing opportunity and thrilling to be part of this community for sure. Um,
Well, only more to
so
come, and the community is getting larger, and that's our mission out here, right? To embrace more people and share the gifts that we've been given from Mother Nature, and help people just rise to higher heights of vibrancy and having an easier time with a healthy lifestyle.
yeah, yeah. And um, I'm fairly new to eating higher raw and being aware of the benefits of it, and it's a journey. I mean, you have years of experience, which is fantastic. I have years of there are the dogs.
Hey, buddies. Hey, you're good. You're good.
I'm watching not only, well, we have ours, but we have my daughter's
Oh,
dog that we're watching, and the two of them, when they get together, sometimes they get a little yappy. So I apologize for that.
it, it's all
Um,
good.
yeah, but just being in the whole food plant-based arena, the world, for as many years as I have been, and then slowly, it's an
Mhm.
evolution. For me, it's just a constant learning, no matter where you are in it.
Yeah.
And so I just keep learning more and more about, wow, just you don't have to cook the food either now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a constant learning and sometimes an unlearning, right? But I always find coming back to nature and looking at the symphony that's out there and all the animals that are thriving on raw foods and the reality that we did, in our earliest times, it speaks to me. And then the experience, that's what generally keeps people there because they think, oh, this is kind of neat. Does that work? And they start doing it and they feel so dang good. They're like, why do I want to go back? And I mean, some people find a balance with a little bit of both, of course, right? But it is just so amazing how Mother Nature provides and how nourishing, whole, fresh, ripe, raw plant foods can be.
Yeah, and there's so much out there in the world about, you know, sugars, and don't eat too much fruit, or don't,
Mhm.
all these different things that you hear. And you really I learned to question those sources,
Yeah,
because a lot of times, I was brought up that the doctor, the doctor, they know what they're
everything.
telling us. And here I'm realizing that might actually, and I have learned sometimes, is their opinion.
Yeah,
So their opinion in an area that's not their specialty,
yeah,
maybe we should question it and challenge it and then see for yourself. So
yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
try to.
Bias comes into it a lot, and I can actually say, like, with the raw food diet, someone could say it's biased, but by this point, it is biased, because like I love it. I've been doing it so long, it does just feel the best. But in the beginning, it was like the last thing I wanted to do. Like my bias was actually for other stuff, but the evidence and the results were I just couldn't throw them out the window. It was too profound to get let go of. So it became a new one, right? But if you've never tried it and you've never felt how it feels, then it's hard to imagine that it could actually be a sustainable way based on mainstream culture and mainstream nutrition.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I've had a lot of health issues,
Mhm.
and health was the reason that I kind of had to look outside of what I was
Yeah.
taught, um, and kind of tripped and stumbled my way through, accidentally realizing there's something about real food that I need to pay attention to. And when, I'm eating this raw food, I'm eating these fruits, I'm eating these vegetables, and higher on the fruits, which I've never really done before, I'm surprised pleasantly that, oh, I actually have enough energy to sustain longer than I
Mhm.
thought, or I feel good longer than I thought I would. And I don't feel like, I've had a lot of issues with sinuses and
Mhm.
inflammation. And so I don't have that, like, not to be gross, but like
Yeah.
mucusy or this thickness
Yeah.
or this, it's just all kind of relaxed. And, I wake up and I'm like, I
Hey,
can breathe. Whoa,
it's so
it's
beautiful,
the
right? It's
food.
so beautiful. And it's like, it almost doesn't matter what condition. I mean, there are some genetic conditions that don't respond quite as well to diet, but it almost doesn't matter what condition. Like, it can be improved. You can find so much more relief, through vibrant, healthy foods. It like you said before, like I never thought that would have been possible when I was younger, and then it just blows your mind when you actually see it, feel it, and see other people do it as well. And
Yeah.
I just with that, with your history, did you have a history of major inflammatory kind of issues, and like where did your interest in anti-inflammatory foods kind of come from, and what did that look like in the beginning?
Oh my gosh. So looking back now, I can see that it started when I was like 4 years old.
Hmm.
But when I was in it, I didn't realize it. But from, a very early age, 4 years old, I was dealing with
Hmm.
allergies and started with allergy injections on and off for 40
Oh
years, four
gosh, wow,
zero years.
wow.
And, I had all kinds of tumors and growths, and chronic fungal sinusitis um, was what they diagnosed me with. And that is actually a particle in the air that we breathe that I was allergic to.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it was because I don't have those same issues now. But chronic means, it's ongoing. The body never gets a chance to relax and heal because it's always in fight
Yeah.
mode. And I had a lot of chronic things. I had a brain tumor in my pituitary. The
Wow.
pituitary is in the base of the brain
Mhm.
between the eyes, little tiny little, looks like a little pea.
Yeah.
And I had a tumor in it. And I have all these surgeries all the time. And so, long story short, I the last straw was when um, I became virtually bedridden for 14 months with a vaccine injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sharing what happened to
Yeah.
me. It's just what happened to me. And so I eventually, after many doctors visits and specialists, including 4 neurologists, and even going to the Mayo Clinic,
Mm-hmm.
nobody could help me. They just wanted to inject things. And I finally had a test where they take chunks, little pieces. I mean, they take pieces of your skin on your
Mm-hmm.
leg as samples, and they finally said, oh, you have small fiber neuropathy. Well, neuropathy is an ongoing neurological disorder, and this one is so when people have diabetes, generally you have it in your feet with tingling and things,
Mm-hmm.
and that runs from the big nerve down. But small fiber is all the little hairs, the little fibers off of the big nerve in the whole body can react.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Just
felt it in my,
hypersensitive.
oh my gosh, if I got up and tried to walk around, it would sometimes take me up to 4 days to calm the sensations,
Wow.
constant,
Wow.
24/7. I mean, it was rough. And so, they said, now we have your diagnosis. You're never going to get better. You're only going to get worse. You'll always be on brain altering medications. And I was like, what?
What? Yeah.
Like,
No.
it's really devastating to hear these kinds of things. And actually, right before I was diagnosed, Mayo Clinic told me I needed to go to a PTSD group because they said, all your tests are fine, like this is in your head. So that that
Okay.
that
Yeah.
is really draining. And so, long story short, I thought, okay, I'm going to have to accept this, but I'm having this blood test come up. My cholesterol's a little elevated. I know what to do. I'm going to, go to
Mm-hmm.
plants. And I started eating it. I had 3 weeks before my blood test, and it came and went, and got my blood test. And not only was that 50
Mm-hmm.
points lower in 3 weeks,
For the
but I was
cholesterol?
able, the cholesterol,
Yeah.
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 um, During that 3 weeks, within like the first week, I noticed I can get up and I can kind of move my hips, and
Mm-hmm.
I can, I can move. What is happening here? And I wasn't sure what was happening, but I just kept straight and narrow. I just kept doing what I was doing. And over a course of, I mean, a couple of years, but it didn't take that long immediately, but you have to be patient. The body
Yeah.
needs time.
Yeah.
I was able to pretty much cure it. I mean, it's probably 98 to 99% gone. I hardly feel it that much, but I could do everything now. And I had a big surge of inflammation and a big, huge sinus infection and all kinds of stuff happening with my pores. And I, looking back, realized that that was the body purging all the
Yeah.
junk. And my surgeon, who had treated me, and I came back for the follow-up, and he said they take a camera and they look up in the sinuses and they
Mm-hmm.
show it to you on this big, you know screen, so you can see. And he said, wow, like, what are you doing? There's nothing in here. There's no inflammation. Like, and I told him I changed my food, and he said, you're on to something. Like, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm here if you need me, but you're not going to need me. And I haven't needed to go back. So
Wow.
um
That's
It's
so awesome, and what
amazing.
a good doctor to say that too. Because I've talked to some people who've been not in the same situation, but kind of similar situations, and the doctors still say, "Oh well, it's got to be something else," like it's like,
Yeah.
but
You know what was really interesting about this particular surgeon? First of all, he's an amazing surgeon. If you do need that, I think there's a
oh, of
place for things
course,
in the Western
yeah,
medicine. But he said to me, he said, recently I had been I saw somebody give me a speech or whatever, a presentation, and it's about food, and I believe that food is going to help people. And I said, if you think that, why aren't you telling your patients?
yeah,
And he said, I can't because I'm not
yeah.
educated in it. But he said, I believe that it's coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe so too. Changes are coming, and there's just so much information and examples. You can't keep it all down forever, right? The way the world is working now, we're all connected, so it's a beautiful thing. And I totally absolute disclaimer for sure. Like my life's been saved by surgeries and doctors, and they're really good at what they do, but their expertise doesn't really come into connection with health creation, really, at least not for the most part.
Yes. And now, instead of like when I was growing up, I was taught, oh, you coughed, run to the doctor. Oh, you this, run to the doctor, run to the doctor. Now that's my last resort.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, I mean, that's your body doing what it can to come back to homeostasis. It's its way of healing itself, right? But like you said, we can become so overburdened that our body isn't able to actually deal with what's going on now because a new onslaught's coming on, a new onslaught's coming on, and that's when we really get bogged down and all these bigger things start to develop and it gets harder and harder the longer it goes. Was there like a big aha moment? Like, was there a moment you really clearly remember where you're like, I'm gonna try something else. Like, yes, this is what I'm gonna do.
Well, yeah, I mean, so my journey has been a very long, non-linear
Mhm.
journey of ups and downs, and I've always looked for ways to improve my health through natural means, even though I didn't know what I was doing for a very long time. But once I kind of knew what I believed was the right way for me, um, I had to kind of figure it out though, because after a couple of years of eating whole food plant based, I became anemic
Mm,
and didn't really understand why and thought I was doing everything right and tried supplements. And so, eventually I was told the only way you can do this is if you have that heme iron through
mm.
animal. That's the only way. And otherwise you're going to need a blood transfusion. And, I'm sitting in the hospital and the ER doctor is saying, "Can't you just eat an egg? Just eat an egg." And I'm like, "I can't eat an
Oh. Mm.
egg." But the aha moment, I believe, really, in all those ups and downs, I'm gonna say is that last recent one where I realized I could physically feel the changes.
Yeah,
See, a lot of times when people are losing weight or blood pressure or things, you can't always feel it.
yeah, yeah.
I could feel the nerves, the sensations. And
Mhm.
so it would be a reminder of a good thing or a not so good thing.
Yeah.
And that was when I knew, oh my gosh, you're onto the you just I don't know why, I don't know what, just keep going, keep going. And I did, and here I am. So
I
yes,
love it.
you
I
gotta
love it.
yeah, you gotta give it a chance. It's not like pills,
Yeah.
you know. You have a headache, you take
And
a
that's a
Tylenol.
good thing, right? Because pills come with a whole bunch of side effects, whereas this stuff just comes with a whole bunch of benefits, right? So it's a nicer switch. And I mean, it is kind of interesting because sometimes people get into diet or get into raw food, and they're like I've been raw for like a week, and like I'm not like feeling that yet. It's like it took you a lifetime to get to where you are, and it generally it takes a little bit longer actually sometimes, to get out of that hole, right? Because it takes a long time, right? So patience and persistence and like you said, consistency and just keep on walking that path, right?
Yes, and with raw foods, sometimes if you're hungry, just eat more of them,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot, right? It takes it it's more volume than anyone would ever think if they hadn't, met somebody who's already doing it. Because a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I tried the raw food thing, but I was hungry an hour after." I'm like, "What'd you have?" And I'm like, "Well, I had an apple and a pear and like three strawberries for lunch." And it's like, "Well, that might only be like 110 calories. How much do you normally get?" They're like, "Well, I usually get like, they may not know, but they're probably getting around 800 calories more for lunch." And if you're not getting that much, you're going to be starving pretty quickly.
Right. So like maybe think about if you're if you, would have company, or if you have a family of four or five or whatever, think of how many apples and strawberries and pears do you need to serve all of them? And
Yeah.
then you eat all of that to
Yeah.
yourself.
That's what it feels like when you go to events, because like sometimes I'll go to a family function and I'll bring all my food and they're like, "Oh wow, like thanks for making this for all of us." I'm like, "No, that's for me." Like you guys can have this small portion. You give them one portion on the side. Like, yeah, you can try it, but I need this, or
Try
you make
it.
a lot, or you make a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share really quickly. I go to a lot of potlucks,
Mhm.
and I went to a potluck and I brought a dish, and I also brought myself my own dish. Even though they have dishes that I could eat there, I tend to bring my own. And I had butter leaf lettuce in this big bowl, big Tupperware that they thought it was to share with
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
And I had strawberries in it and orange bell pepper all cut up. That was it, just those three things. I sit down at the table, everyone's got their stuff, and I open the Tupperware. And even myself, I didn't say it out loud, but I thought, wow, look at these colors. This
Yeah,
is so
yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
And people were looking and they're like, where did you get that? And I'm like, oh, I brought this for me, and what I brought for everybody is over there. And
Yeah.
I felt like,
You guys go have that brown and gray food. I'm gonna have the rainbow right here.
so I was like, oh, this was my lunch I didn't get to yet. So yeah, next time I'll just try to make my own and then another one to share with them.
That that's what it takes sometimes, and people it surprises you sometimes because people think like raw food, like health food, but it's delicious, it's juicy, it's eye appealing. It's like people can't help but want to have it. Like same thing. Whenever I bring a big dish or bring a big box of fruit somewhere, everyone wants some. I mean, people have memories of eating an amazing piece of fruit out in the sun in the summer, and you know I don't know any other food that makes me dance as much as like a really nice, vibrant, healthy fruit and vegetable based meal. It's just like it energizes you on a different level.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I hope that this encourages somebody out there watching. If you don't have to be an expert in
Yeah.
it. You could be, someone just discovering like me, and we're all in this together. We're all here to support each other, but my own personal experience and the reason that I became a certified plant-based nutrition coach and just, started my channel and do all the things that I do and be a part of this bundle and so forth is because I so strongly believe that there are people out there that really don't know. And you know what? There is another way, and
Yeah.
you don't have to be stuck in wherever you are. Try something new, give it a chance, and make your own decision. You don't have to believe
Yeah.
us, you or me or anyone else, but you'll know all on your own. And I think that that's the greatest testament.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Self-experience is just we can scream till we're blue in the face, but until you feel it yourself, until you give yourself the chance and run the experiment, you'll never know for sure for you, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm
Yeah.
curious, were there any specific foods that you found really helpful that were kind of like a go-to foods that are, potent anti-inflammatories, or any anti-inflammatories that are like your favorite ones that you recommend anyone who's having kind of issues with inflammation themselves?
Absolutely. Any kind of combination of all or individually, turmeric or
Mm,
curcumin. I like to get a lot of fresh. If you can't get fresh, you can get it ground. Make sure that it's fairly fresh and not old. But I like turmeric with a little bit of black pepper, garlic,
Mm.
amazing, amazing. And I do not only the raw white garlic, but I have also made black
Oh,
garlic
nice.
in a dehydrator,
Hmm.
and that is really, really good. Ginger,
Yeah.
ginger, just, and if you don't like the flavors because it's new to you, put them in a smoothie with fruit or something,
Mm.
or shred them a little bit on a salad,
Hmm.
and just start with a little bit. But they really are so fantastic at bringing inflammation down.
Hmm.
So those are my go-tos for sure.
Hmm. Have you encountered any myths in the inflammation, kind of like anti-inflammatory food world out there, or anything that you maybe once learned that now you're like, no, that doesn't really add up from what I've learned now?
Not that I can think of, other than maybe you know, too too much.
Mhm.
Like I
Over, like
I
over,
don't think you like overkill. Like,
yeah,
one little slice of ginger is
yeah,
plenty. Actually, 3 inches, 4 inches,
mm,
that's okay still too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just, I think, quantity,
yeah.
because, and don't be afraid of it, right? It's just something maybe you're not familiar with, and that's what I would say. Yeah, don't be afraid to just flood. Think of it as like a blanket, a blanket or a wash, a wave of just
Mm,
goodness. If your body especially is lacking,
mm,
those things are going to be like so well received. The body's going to be like, wait, what? Oh, okay, what do I do with this? And then once they get it, it'll just continue to be like, I got this,
mm.
thank you for giving this to me, I'm going to help you, let's get rid of the non so good stuff, and hang on to this other.
It's so beautiful too, hey, how like you may try something new and be like, oh, this is kind of different, but once your body starts to kind of get it, like you said, and like utilize it, all of a sudden you start looking at it and you're like, wow, I like you start to desire it more and enjoy it more, and it just becomes more well received by your body as it really has that connection and understands that it's useful for it.
Yeah, yeah. And just even things that you wouldn't even think of, like peels and, like pineapple.
Oh
I
yeah.
always threw out the outside, the peel, the skin part.
Mm,
No,
mm,
you can, steep water, you can
mm,
flavor water, you can squeeze it out, you can do a lot of things you can with it. And
mm,
the core, the very center inside,
mm.
don't take that out and throw it out.
No.
That, I think, has bromelain in
Yeah,
it, and it's so amazing for us. And it's
I
just
love
like,
it. It's
yeah, so,
just crunchy, like a nice, like I don't know, just like a celery stick or like a carrot.
and sweeter too.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a great
yeah.
great description. And so, you know, maybe try to be curious about, well, I used to peel my carrots, but what happens if I just eat it with the skin? Or, just little things like
Yeah.
that. What about the greens? You always threw the greens out. You don't
Mm,
have to. You
no.
can put them in a smoothie,
Mm,
or cut them up and put them in your salad or whatever. It's all edible,
mm.
so there you go.
Yeah, there's so much bounty out there. It is wild today that a lot of kids, like you show them a carrot and they may not know what it is or where it came from, and so this message is so important, and more and more people could just benefit so much from connecting more with Mother Nature and natural foods.
Absolutely. And I have four
Mm,
grandbabies,
mm,
ranging from 8, 5, and then two that are 3.5. They're a few weeks apart. And, there's a lot of peer pressure from
yeah.
television advertisements, even if they don't know people and they're in the grocery store and you see the other kids with these packaged whatevers, that's not real food. There's a lot of pressure there, but you know, I think we just have to set the example for the kids. And we do that even without noticing it when we're out and about. You could be standing in line somewhere and chomping on a carrot or something, and there might be a little guy that's looking up at you and thinking, oh, I might want to try it. What is that? I want to try that. So
It's infectious, right? It is so beautiful, and I so agree because there's been many times where I've been at friends' houses where they have kids, or at an event where there's kids, and I'm having fun and eating my fruit, and all of a sudden they're twice as excited about fruit as they were when their parents are around. And it's like, well, you model it, and they pick up on it. And kids love fruit. I mean, fruit is just insane, delicious, and sweet, and they don't have to feel like they're going to be restricted about it. So it's just such a beautiful thing having that.
Yeah, and you can make smoothies in different colors, right, with the different fruit and make it rainbowy and, and get them involved. To get involved, even if you're not a kid, get
Mm.
everyone involved. What do you want to make
Yeah.
your smoothie with? Let's do it, and
Yeah.
people that aren't familiar. You don't have to know how to cook. You might want to know how to cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
might
true.
want to.
Or you just need the button to push on the blender, but you can let the kid in you come out, right? I think that this lifestyle definitely kind of brings a little bit more boisterous joyfulness and kid-like kind of wonder when you really sink into it.
Yeah, curiosity. That's a fun one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that sounds like a big secret for improving your diet. Just being curious, right? Just being curious and trying new foods and trying new things on.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. I like to tell people when you go to the market or wherever you're going to shop, try to go and look at something that you've never looked at. Pick something
Yeah.
out, even if you don't buy it. Look at it, take a picture, write the name, go home, research it, decide what you're going to do with it, and then go back and buy it. Or just buy it and
Yeah.
then figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But it's been really fun to do it that way. Then you learn all kinds of stuff. And then, because people sometimes they don't even see it because they're just accustomed to going to this, and that.
Yeah.
And there's so much more out there. So.
Yeah, it's really amazing the abundance of variety out there, and we're so lucky to have that at our fingers' end, right? You can go down the street to the store, almost anywhere in the world you live, and find so many different things to try on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in terms of inflammation, foods really do play a part.
Mhm.
So if you are wanting to bring down your inflammation, you
Mhm.
got to look at what you're eating. Things like processed sugars and oils and refined sugars and oils and animal products, all of that stuff, even alcohol,
Mhm.
it's going to cause inflammation in the body. And
Mhm.
not to go into the whole cellular level, but it really is true. When you
Mhm.
get rid of those things or replace those things with things that are, the fresh fruits and vegetables, and they're not processed, they're just how they come in their perfect package of
Yeah.
naturalness.
Yeah.
That you don't have to think hard. It just automatically, over a short period of time, you'll be able to close and open your hands, your joints, if you're dealing with arthritis or whatever.
Mhm.
It will make a difference because when you think
Huge.
about it, we
Mhm.
are made from cells.
Mhm.
What makes our cells?
Mhm.
What we put in our mouth, our
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that's another thing that I would say if someone's like, okay, well, what do I do? Or how do I do this? You just fruits, vegetables, spices,
Mhm.
like we talked about,
Yeah.
right? Um, some nuts and seeds and even legumes. I sprout them,
Mhm.
and they're great. I mean,
So
so
delicious.
yeah, so don't give up out there.
There's so many options out there for sure, and a beautiful thing too. We're both a part of the bundle, and there's so many people, so many recipes, so many people to connect to, and you may resonate with someone more or someone else, and enjoy the recipes, enjoy what they're sharing, enjoying the community, and get that support and connection there too, because it makes it a lot easier when you're connected with some people that are living the same thing, or maybe are a few steps before or anywhere, right? And that way you can streamline your journey and make things a lot easier.
Oh yeah, don't try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's done. Just jump on board and share with others and learn from, that's what we're doing, collaborating, and
Absolutely.
it is really wonderful. And yeah, it's not just lettuce or
No.
apples. I mean, you have this, I mean, I've made your, raw pizza before. People have soups and all kinds of wonderful recipes for things that you might you'll find all these different opportunities and wonderful ways to enjoy food.
Yeah.
And the bundle is a great way to just dive into things that you don't even know are waiting for you because you didn't download yet.
No, 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 exactly. You know, we can get so used to what we like and what we eat, and just be like, oh, this is good. But when you open it up and you try on different people's, their taste buds, because they're making food based on their taste buds, you might be awakened to something completely different and find a whole bunch of new favorite recipes, or fitness tips, or mindset switches that can really make all the difference.
Yeah, yeah, and even cookies and
Fortune
treats
cookies,
and
yeah.
yeah, fortune
Yeah,
cookies.
there's a raw vegan fortune cookie recipe in Raw Chef Yin's Chinese takeout course.
Yeah, and that's a fun too because then you can write your own fortune.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah,
I
and
love it.
smoothies and crackers and dips and sushis and I mean it's endless and ice creams and oh my gosh, and
Hmm.
even I know that there's stuff in there about hormone balance and
Yeah,
permaculture and just it's an amazing amount of information. And so I that's why I want to share with people to go ahead, take a chance, you won't regret it.
yeah. No, me too, absolutely. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of it too, and also for the collaboration back and forth. I've had a lot of fun connecting with you and on your YouTube channel as well. And I just want to remind everyone too to definitely give Jennifer a follow here, and also check her out on her YouTube channel, sharing a lot of awesome stuff. Is there anything that you want to kind of touch on that we haven't in the topic of inflammation, or things that have really made a big difference for you with your journey?
Not that I think we pretty much touched on everything. It's just you do have to be
Yeah,
patient and you have to, and I'm not telling you what to do when I say you have to. I'm talking to myself, really. What I had to do
yeah,
was just keep going and
yeah.
realize the body, it's not your enemy.
No, no.
If it's malfunctioning or if it's not doing things, it's really sending you a message.
Yeah,
And we have to listen and try to figure out, like a little baby that doesn't know how to speak. Why is this baby crying? Why is this body doing this?
yeah,
Okay, I am not meeting its needs. Let's take a step back. Let's think about this. Think about the food.
yeah,
Think about what you're doing in terms of movement, your sleep, and all these other things. But the food, even if you did nothing else and you changed the food to anti-inflammatory foods, I've never met somebody who said they didn't notice a change in the positive.
yeah,
Of course, if you're allergic to something, don't eat it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But I'll tell you, even my allergies,
Mm.
I mean, I don't I don't need to do medicines and rinses and travel with pills and sprays. I don't have to do any of that. I sometimes take something with me because just in
Yep,
case,
yep,
but I
yep.
never need it anymore
Well,
because I don't have that inflammatory property. And so I would just urge everyone to just give the body a chance, listen to it, and honor it by trying something new and radical like real whole foods.
I love it. I love it. Isn't it wild that it is radical to eat natural whole foods, but it really is in this day and time. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Well, thank you again so much, Jennifer. Really appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Where can everyone find you at again? What's your YouTube page name again? Just and any other links you want to share real briefly?
Yeah, and thank you so much, Chris. This has been so fun, and I really look forward to continuing to work together and spreading this word together. You can find me on my YouTube channel at The Jennifer
Mhm.
Diamond. You can find me at The Jennifer Diamond 1 on Instagram, and I have a webpage, thejenniferdiamond.com. I
Nice.
have a newsletter. You can reach me there if you want any additional like personal help because I am a certified plant-based nutrition coach, and I can help you whenever you're ready in any way that meets your needs. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, reciprocated back to you again. Absolutely. Well, again, I hope you have an awesome day, and I'm going to make some curry now. You got me a little bit hungry talking all here today.
Well, I know that it makes you dance, so don't forget to get out with your pineapple and
I
do a
might
little jig.
actually, before the sun goes down, get out for a quick walk because I have another live in an hour and 45 minutes. So
Very,
that's quite a
very
bit of
good.
time. Yeah,
Yes,
but
well, enjoy that. And if you don't mind me saying, I always like to tell everybody, please give plants a
I
chance.
love it.
They will not disappoint. So take care.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
everyone
you,
for joining us. I hope you
Chris.
really enjoyed this, and definitely check out Jennifer. And we'll see you again.
Yes, and grab the bundle from either one of us. We would love to
Absolutely.
share in the joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit. Bye bye.
Bye.